everyone. First, thank you for being here. Thank you, Pavan, for inviting us. And thank you, everyone, to spend Friday with us. The next talk is going to be around 20 minutes, and we are going to talk about how you can bring your research into the industry. How we can, like all the new models, all the new papers, all the new techniques, how you can make it more available for the people, and how the people can start using your research to create good things for communities or for production level. I'm going to start with some numbers behind AI research, and I think you already know some of these ones. It's crazy the amount of paper that is, like the growth of the amount of AI paper that has been created in the latest years. Just in 2024, there were more than 58,000 new AI papers, and this is growing super fast. And I am not saying that like the people is using AI to do research. I am saying that AI in general, it's accelerating the way that you create new stuff, because now you can automate some of the research steps that maybe take more time. And this is good, but at the same time, there is a bad thing, and it's that big research conference like NeurIPS or CVPR, the amount of paper that they accept is not that big. And we have to think in a better way of how can I show my research, how can I show my 1 year or 2 years or 10 years of research in a better way that everyone can start to use it and as well get feedback. And this is exactly what I'm going to show you today, how you can use FiftyOne to accelerate or expand the scope of your research and make it more available for the people. And this is two examples that I really like. The first one, this is plugins. I'm going to explain a little bit about that in these 20 minutes, but in general, you are able to use a paper, for example, integrating clip with sparse linear concept embeddings directly into the platform. And then everyone that is using the platform that is open source is going to be able to use your models, do inference, or if maybe it's a new technique, you can use the technique, or if it's a data set, they are going to be able to use your data set and start to creating solutions for the industry. And there are more. I'm going to show you some of them, but about me, I think it's important before going forward. I am Ado. I am ML engineering working in the DevRel team at Boxer 51. And at the end, we can connect on LinkedIn. I think this spaces is perfect to meet people and to actually get good connection. It's the most important thing. If you finish this and you have a new person in your social network, I think that's the best thing in the world. Okay, what is FiftyOne? Derek already mentioned about that, but just to let you know, when you are creating computer vision algorithms, when you are doing the full pipeline from dataset import until train a model, let's say an object detection algorithm or classification algorithm, all of these steps that you have to do, like dataset import, like curation, evaluation, all of these steps, you can do it directly in FiftyOne. FiftyOne is an open source library where you can find bias. In the same time, you can fix that bias. You can make more labels. We have a new functionality that allows you to create labels from scratch, and it's everything in just one place for all of the data curation and data evaluation in computer vision algorithms. And we have, of course, multiple tasks. We support classification, detection, instance segmentation, panoptic segmentation. We have multiple modalities like images, 3D, videos, point clouds. Like we support multiple modalities to allow that the people can create different functionalities. Okay, let me tell you more about the plugin ecosystem, because for me it's the most interesting thing, and it's you can integrate any model into the platform. And the way that you are going to integrate it, it's based in a structure that is with panels and operators. And I'm going to explain this in 5 minutes, but tomorrow if you want to build something that the people can use in the industry, tomorrow is the perfect day. But just two examples of what you can do: Moondream, Queen3 BL, and you can do inference, in this case, in the video, get some captioning, get some information, depends on the model, and at the same time you can get, we have other LLMs and BLMs that you can integrate. If the people like closed model, Gemini as well, same idea. You can just go and use this. I'm going to show you the platform in a bit, but this is like the FiftyOne ecosystem. you have your full data set. This is BDD for the people that work with autonomous driving cars, very powerful. And what we are doing right now, we are using Nano Banana. Tomorrow we are gonna talk more about Nano Banana, the Google model, and we are creating a new image in a data set. It's like a way to extend, to create more images, to improve your data set. Here I create a new image that is gonna be there of New York at night raining. It's like a good way to use different models. Here, like the idea is not only show the model, it's how you can integrate the model into your full data set and now have more diversity. And I can like keep talking about models. Right now the idea is like FiftyOne, you can do the full pipeline. You can integrate models like these ones, or Janus as well, or MedGemma, and other models. We have more than 100 models that you can use directly here. But the main idea of what I want to show you is how you can actually build these plugins. And the idea of build these plugins, it depends on what you have. If you have models, I'm going to explain you in 2 minutes how to integrate models. If you have a data set and you want to integrate it, I'm going to explain as well that. But the idea is very simple. You create your model. We are going to do inference. We are not going to do training. We know that we have 2 stages. We already learned that in the last talk. The stage of training is not going to be here. The stage of inference is the one that you are going to integrate. And the structure is you have 5 functions or 5 important files. The manifest file is going to represent all the information that your model, like all the description of your models, including what support and other kind of variables. The download model, just thinking what do I need to use to be able to download my model directly in local. And this is because we are trying to make this scalable, like everyone should use the same standard. You are going to put everything that you need to run the model directly in this function. Then we have the load model that is more complex, but just to let you know, you have to load the model in a class, in a representation that we have. And here we are going to load that. And the last 2 ones is resolve input, and it's what variable do I need to be able to run the models. If maybe I am running with a bash, or maybe I am running with some special hyperparameters, I have to define that here. And the last one, it's let's say that you have a model that has multiple classes, and I need to move from like a string to an array because my model receives arrays instead of strings. You are going to do this kind of parse parameters directly in this function. It's only 5 functions, and it's how we can integrate the models. If we talk about model integration, it's going to be a little bit more complex, but I think for time I'm not going to go in these details. Tomorrow I can explain more about that. But it's just how my model at the end is going to use the class to be able to predict or to apply the inference in the model. But you have to put what you develop and put it directly in these predictions functions to be able to run your custom model. Some examples, and to show you that it's not only inference, it's not only, say, the class of an object. You can have as well features or spatial features that can show the people that is using your model, how your model is, what is the output of your model in different formats. On the left, you can see the maps. On the right, you can see the embeddings. And if you are doing maybe like you are trying to separate classes and trying to see how different are between them, you can use the embeddings and you can use the keys, and now you're going to have a better representation in the same place of your model. And you can compare as well other models. Okay, let me move to data sets. Then I'm going to show you something with agents that I think is more interesting. If you are working with NCP or skills, I think that's going to be nice. But the idea of the model is it's you can integrate, if you create object detection data set, a new one, or you want to create a temporal action detection data sets, you can integrate it here. This is an example of one that everyone can use with just one line. And I like this one because it contains multiple images. It has the point cloud, and additional of that, it has, if you can see the points in their hands, it's like some key points and There is another one that is, what are you looking, your eyes, what your eyes are looking on. And all of these are in the same location, are all of them together as an image with multiple formats. And if you have a data set like this that is more complex, that the people can use to make research, you can integrate it as well. Cool. I'm gonna jump to this. The anatomy of the idea of this ecosystem is that we have operators and we have panels. Operator Justin, maybe it's better. Can you hear me? Better? It's good? No? Okay. Okay, let's keep using this. The idea of operator is like you have a function that is gonna perform a task that is gonna be inside 51. This function, it's gonna contain some input, some output, but at the end it's gonna be like a black box for us. And it's gonna be one of the most important part of the infrastructure. Then we have the panels that are this kind of format where you integrate more visual information. If you are doing an ablation study and you would like to have all the tables like next to your data set and you want to compare multiple models, you can create a panel that displays all of this information, and behind the scene can have the operators with multiple models to compare the result of your algorithms. And what we are trying to push is hybrid panels where you combine the power of JavaScript to make it all of this visual, like very interesting in a visual way, and of course Python in the back to be able to deploy these operators in our system. Cool. This is another example. This is good. This is one of the first one that I show, and it's a model that it's like a model decomposition. Like you apply clip and you get what are the components more relevant to a specific image. And this, if you use this in production, you can have your data set, you can have your labels, but actually you can start to find if maybe there is bias in your data set because the component that describes your data set are different to the component that is in the label. And usually that happens a lot. Just in like you take the pictures in a zone that it's the same always. If you move this data set to another like environment, you're gonna start to find this bias, and models like this one allow you to find that directly. Okay, I'm gonna, in like these 5-7 minutes that I have left, I'm gonna talk a little bit about MCP, because what we see right now was, okay, there is an opportunity to create, to use your research, your data set, model, or technique, and put it in 51. All the people that are in 51 is gonna be able to use it, but now the question is, okay, I need to put it in that format, and as you see, the format is very standard. We can actually use agents to like make this easier, and that was exactly what we did. We create MCP and skills to be able to do this task in our environment. And I'm going to talk about the skills, and I just want to know first if someone has experience or has been or uses skills in your dailies, or someone has experience. Okay, one. Who uses skills with agents? 2, nice. Okay, that is pretty nice because this is a big opportunity. There is like many things that you can create with the skills. But what is a skills? And this is like a change of topic, but we were talking about Voxel, now we are talking about agents in general. And skills are something that Anthropic released last year, but the main idea is that these kind of markdown files are instructions that an agent like Cloud or Gemini CLI or any agent can use to do a specific task. And why this is so powerful is because you are able to like create all the step-by-step that the agent has to do to be able to do a task, and you explain it in a way that they are gonna reduce the number of tokens that they have to use, and as well the final result, like the final, let's say, code, it's cleaner and with better practice. And there are multiple skills. If you use Hugging Face or if you use any big open source project, you are gonna see these skills. And the way to use it, it's a command I can show you later, but you install these skills, you ask the agent to do the task, it's read this file like a markdown and use all of this good practice to be able to perform a task. And when the people is working with the skills, there is the people confused with the skills and the agents markdown, or if you use cloud, there is something that is the cloud markdown. The difference here, and I used this slide from Ben last week, it's like agents help you to create the rules that an agent has to use, and a skill is the way to help you to deliver the process, the steps, the good practices. And if you combine the two of them, you are going to have better results. Right now, there are some papers that are talking about if actually it's helping the agent or it's not. But the idea initially is let's create agents to create the rules, and then use the skills to like explain the process and explain the best practice and performance, and as well reduce tokens. And as I told you before, like we can use FiftyOne to accelerate our research or make it more accessible to the people. We don't have to go always to the conference. We can use other techniques like FiftyOne. And what if we use skills and MCP to create your model in FiftyOne? You can say something like, okay, import my data set or import my new model that is in this folder in the format of FiftyOne. And we are working on this every day. This is just a quick example before finish that show us how you can use the skills to create, to import a data set. As you can see here, I am not writing any code. It's just talking with the agent, putting like a specific task that is this. Where is this? It's here. And then the agent is going to start to read the skills, get all the steps, and then create the data set or create whatever I need. And at the end, it's able to import the data set, put it in FiftyOne, and now we are going to be able to use it. Cool. This is the link of the skills if you want to explore it later, but just to try to summarize here and before going to the docs, FiftyOne, like not only FiftyOne, if you think like Hugging Face and other kind of open source library, it's better way to make the things more accessible, and we have to, in this new world of AI, we have to think in ways that the people can access your research. We don't have to only think in research conference or journals. We have to start to think in better ways that you can put your research outside and that more people can access. Hackathons, like the one that we are going to have tomorrow, is another good example of places where you can use your research, put it in something applicable, and then show the world what you are building. This is some resources if you want to keep exploring. Because this is a meetup, at the end I'm going to be around if you want to talk about how to integrate it, more than happy to explore it. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.